future me here. I'm trying not to show you the map behind me. I stupidly lost the first minute or so of this recording. So in a second, we're just going to jump in. I think it was a fraction of a day of gameplay and mostly me waffling about the stuff that we're going to do. I don't remember what we said, so you'll see it as we go through, and a little bit of a spoiler. We end up with a bad tide towards the end. Hope you enjoy the video, and hopefully next time I won't accidentally delete a few minutes worth of recording. Sorry, the door went. It's a really long way until we've got this set up as a separate district. So, yep. Right, you're going to put that in. You are. Let's open that up for now. Pause. Why isn't that opening? What do you want to do? Advanced. You. Make sure nothing's set. Advanced. Attach the stream gauge. Stream gauge low threshold is going to be 1 point. Let's be quite high again. 1.6. Goes below 1.6, it goes to 0. If it's above 0.97, it goes to 1. Right, play. So that's opened now and is going to fill that. We will explode this. We will detonate that. We will place the last piece of explosives for that. Make that a priority and get things rocking and rolling again. I had wanted to check this. It is fine. So we should be looking to replace these birch trees and those pine trees there with oak trees. And interestingly, as the water got low, the oak trees up here did dry out, but that doesn't seem to be a problem. So let's throw in some 2 oak trees there. That's in, so cool, that's being filled up. So I spoke last time about putting a few more showers in for the wet fur bonus, and we will do that there. So that's good. I think probably we'll start looking to replace these trees with oak trees. So that's nice and full. That's brilliant. That's working as I'd kind of hoped. And yeah, I think there's maybe a spot in here we could pump. It's another drought. Wow. No bad tides. They're really not being kind to us, are they? Don't need that to be set to empty now, do I? It's set to be planks once they've got space for them. So yeah, like somewhere in here we could maybe pump out water, or here, or we ship it in. I'm not keen on shipping it in, to be honest. So we kind of need a way. The alternative would be we have to try and divert this bad water stream across there, and that would keep, if we built across, yeah, it'd have to be quite big, so I'd have to go all the way across there. We could maybe keep some of this clear, but yeah. And I guess the encouraging thing is it's irrigated land, and it's irrigated, surrounded by not very nice water. So yeah, that's a good thing. So a couple of days left and our water's going up. Our food is pretty good and stable now, which I like. You don't need to do anything. We will set you to be emptied. So if you don't remember last time, I cut all of the trees off of here. We could turn this into farmable land with a bit of work. We could we could open up a path in to flood this and knock all this down to ground level. We'd have to build a route across that was safe from bad water, so that would be a bit of a trek, but you know, it's all possible. It's all possible. Thinking the other thing, yeah, I'm not sure how we're going to do the water for these guys. I think the main thing, the first thing is just getting, I'm going to start those pumping actually. We're 10 beavers short. We're just going to pause one of the hauling posts. And we will unpause the builders. No. We don't have, actually we don't have a huge amount of building to do at the moment, so they might as well stay paused and we can just build up a bit of a stockpile. So our gears are full. Our planks are full. Our metal beams are full, but we should really build some more storage for those. So, why don't we do that here? We could do that because we are going to need more metal beams at some point. So, I mean, I almost feel like it's the same for gears. So maybe we should put in a medium, no, a couple of long tiny warehouses for gears so we can just start stockpiling a few more of those. Those are really useful, those long tiny warehouses. Another drought, seriously? You are crushing us with these just droughts, and it started already. Well, I must have known it was coming actually because we'd had the pre-warning. We're up to 2,500 water, which is pretty cool. While I'm here, we will pause when drought starts, unpause when temperate starts, pause when bad tide starts. Might as well start automating some of these. Go, and same drill as usual. We will unpause those, and we can pause these. There we go. So, yeah. But we can keep pumping bad water out of this, which is cool. So that will help a little bit. So it does take a little while for the water at this level to dry up. And if you were playing before update 5, you'd be trying to block off the exits to keep water on the map. But with bad tide, you can't do that until you can control the bad tide. And this map has so many bad water sources that, you know, it's not just a case of, oh, well, if we divert this, we're fine. There are so many bad water sources that it's just going to take a really long time to get to that point where we are, you know, not worried about the fact that we've got to deal with bad tide coming in, and so we're going to just have to be robust as the droughts and things get longer. It feels like the game's being quite generous at the moment with how long things like droughts are. No, at this point I would be expecting to be having much longer droughts. You know, we've had one 18-day drought and that's been it really. So yeah, I forgot to do my intro spiel. You know, it's the whole update 5, series 5, 1,000 islands, hard mode, etc, etc, etc. But now we've got 500 bad water, which is pretty good because we divide that by, it's about 20, we divide it by 5, so it's about 125 explosives. So we should be able to put all of this in and start putting in the pond, whatever we want to call it, for next time. And it's going to be a bit, I was wondering how I could automate this to do both, to do contamination and level. And I know you can go in and you can go to advanced and you can attach stream gauge and you can do contamination thresholds and stream gauge level thresholds, but I want them set off different stream gauges, so I don't think that's going to work. We could double up, and that would be an idea. So we could have one that opens if the contamination is low, and one that opens if the water level is low. I tried to do that before. I'm kind of tempted to give that a little bit of a look in this Let's Play. So I think we will plan on putting in an extra set, and then so this front one will be controlled by the contamination, and then the back ones will be controlled by the water level in here. So we would do advance, it's attached to the stream gauge. Contamination is below 1%, we set to 0. Contamination is above 2%, we set to 1, and we'll see what the contamination looks like. That might not work. What we might have to do is we might need to use a mechanical pump, which means we need to then get into doing things with treated planks, because that way we could separate out the good water and the bad water. Or we'll have to use a lot of water dumps. I'm just thinking, because the water that comes through there is not very clean. So we'll see how that looks, actually. That might be an issue. That might be an issue. We got our platform built, which is cool. Once we've got this set up, we will then establish our second colony. We will seed it with a small number of beavers, and go from there. Yeah, we're doing good. We're doing good. The bad water supply that we created has lasted well, but this has run out. What we probably want to do, because we need to pause those, is if we put in a stream gauge there, we can then do it off of the level. That's probably sensible. Over here, what we're going to do is we are going to unpause when temperate starts and pause when drought starts. That should do it, because bad tide we don't need to do anything. And then over here we might as well do pause, unpause, pause, pause, unpause, pause, pause, unpause, pause, pause, unpause, pause. And that will save me having to go around, assuming I set these all right, when the seasons change, and do that. And we will unpause you and unpause you, and we'll let the game manage that as needed. Yeah. So our power supply over here is not so great. So what I think we want to be looking at is some of these larger flywheels. So if we go to a large framed flywheel, we can't build those, but we can build the medium ones. And these hold 20,000 horsepower. But what I'm actually thinking is we go for the medium horizontal, which hold 15,000. They cost 2,500 science. But what I'm thinking is we put these down in, because I think the power connection is on the top. So what I think we would do is if we put them down here in the bad tide, or in the water, and then connect them up to the grid. So I'm going to do that. So we'll do something like that. And then I think we might need this guy. A medium frame used to aid the connection of medium horizontal. The power shaft is vertical. Other buildings can be built on top. So if we built that, can we connect power in the sides? We can. That's what we want. Because I don't think we can connect power in the sides here. Or we could use one of these. That's probably a better idea. Let's do that. And then we can connect those up. And that will be a lot more efficient. So I'm just going to put some path round to that. But yeah, so these lose 4 horsepower an hour. Each of these is losing 10 horsepower an hour. And each one only holds 1,500, whereas those hold 15,000. So they're each one is the equivalent of 10. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So each one of these replaces all of these. So once they're connected up, I'm going to delete these and replace them with normal ones. And then we will maybe expand our power network out into the river. All right, into making use of this land. And I think we might do the same actually with how we create the power, so we can free up this area. So I might move some of this, and maybe what we should be doing is actually building them here like that. And like that. We probably need to do that. And then I think we can build windmills out here on this. Yeah, so we don't need those now. And that will help even more, and that'll give us a big power supply injection, and we can build infrastructure on here, or we can build factories on here rather than infrastructure. So, right, how are we doing over here? Pretty good. We've still got plenty of bad water. So what we're going to do is advanced, attach to stream gauge, and basically pause when the depth is below a tiny number, and unpause when the depth is above that tiny number. And then the same here, attach to stream gauge, pause when below tiny number, unpause when below slightly less tiny number. So that's automated now, which is nice. Right, we can detonate all of that. I would kind of like to start getting this placed. And what I think is, because we were slightly to the side, is I want to try something like that initially. And I'm going to up the priority of that so that we build that first. And because I want to see how all of this works. So particularly how this behaves. Awesome, right? I'm guessing, yeah. So again, over here, I think we should have a stream gauge because we're not managing these well either. The way that we'll do this is we can do it off of depth as well, because when we are, maybe not, might have to manually control this, but if I have a look, so if I attach to stream gauge, we want to pause if below a little bit, and we want to pause if the contamination is above 1. We want to unpause if the depth is below 0.98. I'm just going to set that one. I'm actually not going to have that. And then we're also going to do disable during bad tide. And then basic, we will pause when bad tide starts. So pause when bad tide starts, pause when bad tide starts, and then advanced, attach to stream gauge. Right, advanced, attach to stream gauge. So we want to disable during bad tide, and then we want to pause if it's empty, and we want to unpause if it's below, just below 1. There we go. And then the same here. We will do advanced, attach to stream gauge. We will pause below a little number. We will unpause. Actually, we want to unpause if it's below. I think I've got these set the wrong way. Oh no, that's okay. Yep. So if it drops below that level, it unpauses. And then if it drops below that level, it pauses. Yeah, because I want it to pause when it fills up. Or unpause when it fills up, sorry. Cool. Food's looking good. Water's looking good. Getting explosives placed. I'm going to path over this. Because I do... It's either that or we just put path straight through the middle. I think it's worth having that anyway. Yeah. Cool. Progress is happening. The colony feels like it's about the right size at the moment, resource-wise, or beaver-wise, not resource-wise. We are getting these built. We are metal block limited, I believe, which we're probably power limited. Yeah. So, but we'll get there. And the plan is, so what we'll do is we'll come out of here. And so we can do there. And then we will pause you. We can do there. Can't do another one. And then I don't think we'll be able to... No, so what we're going to do is double, and we should be able to then build windmills there. And then we can do that, and that, and that, and that. So that should allow us to generate more power, and basically we can keep expanding that out because I don't think these are going to block the flow of fluid. And then we will be looking to get into paper, I guess, but I would like first to get this power grid sorted, so before we start producing paper. I wonder if it probably makes sense to start replacing those lossy ones with ones that don't lose power, and maybe we put another one there and we connect that up and we make those a priority. And the same, we replace those because losing power due to the inefficient storage seems a little bit dumb to me. So let's replace them with straight connections because those don't lose power. There we go. So we can get all of that connected up. That will make it more efficient. The drought has ended. So we are suddenly 25 beavers short. So I guess that's coming from haulers. That's 14. We should do that. There we go. That should be okay. Cool. We don't want... Oh, we've got a lot of trees to cut down because I paused a lot of our lumberjacks. So let's get that going. We are a little bit short of wood, actually. 32 beavers short. Wow. Okay. We can almost sort this out. So, which means we will be able to start 30 beavers. Let's have a look at where our shortages are, shall we? So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 16, nearly 26. Yeah, okay, I'm not too worried actually about that. That looks worse than it is, I think. So the contamination here is only 1%, which actually is fine, I think. We will keep an eye on that. It's gone up to 4% and it's turned off. So yeah, probably we're going to need a bit of a mixture of water dumps and stuff. And I do think that we want to be looking to control this a bit. So to do that, we'd need to come across here. And again, it's kind of painful that everything we have to bridge. And then come up here. And we kind of want to dam across there. No, we'd have to dam. I guess if we came up, we could block that off. Yep. This feels like a bit of an excursion now. But if we want clean water, we're going to need to do something about this fella. This fella is polluting quite a lot. And what I think we might do is block both of these off and have it come out of here and then block here and here. And that will push that pretty much down this way. Right, let's do that. And then we want to make that deeper again. So we probably need to put a staircase in there so that they can get down to that. And then we are going to need to start farming this, but say this water is not what I want to be putting in here. So for now, I think my approach is going to be yeah, I'm not sure. I'm going to delete that. We're going to have a drought approaching. That's good. What we're going to do, we're going to come across here. We're going to come across here. We're going to go down there. And we are going to build a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Actually, we can go across there. And then we are going to place 2 lodges in there. Like that. They will be safe from bad tide. It's a really inefficient way of doing it in terms of material used, but in terms of land used, it feels sensible. So I'm going to deprioritize this, and then we need, as we tackle this during the drought, if it's a nice long drought, I think we're going to go for that during the drought. So, oh, we're getting these built. This is powered up a little bit, making use of these, but not a lot. Yeah. Water's way back up, which is good. Food is holding steady, which is good. And food is going to get way better very soon. Yeah, but this is not great. But we do need a way of addressing this, and Actually, what we're going to do is put back the staircase. I will minimum prioritize that. We'll up prioritize the staircase over the explosives, and we will up prioritize those. We're not going to get this filled this time because we need to tackle this bad water. So, yeah, we will get there. We will get there. So we can delete those. We can therefore delete that bit of path. Cover it in explosives. 30 minutes. Cool. Really thinking that we will be jumping on. Sorry, I'm just doing some disk management. No. Oh, that's okay. That's okay. I thought I just deleted this video recording. Right, yeah, we're going to try and tackle this issue in the drought. So, that's going to be our priority. And it won't need things like metal, which is good because we're slowly getting that built. Yeah, that's just a big, long job to tackle that we'll eventually get to. And we could, I think, put another power windmill there. We've got the supplies to build that, which is cool. We've got plenty of trees, which is good. We need to plant all of these as oaks. Those growing. There's the drought. There we go. So that sort of worked, but not brilliantly. So this can be deleted. So they'll pump those out as well, and then we'll be done for water. We actually almost filled our water storage, right? So we need that to be high priority. We're then going to run a path. Because we are in a drought, we can just run the path all the way up to here. We need to get up here, so we will do ladder, ladder. There's, yep, and that should allow us to do levee across there, levee across there. Let's do that. We need to do ladder, ladder, staircase. There we go. And oh, one more. We'll do stairs there because they use slightly less resources. And then out here, we are going to build a large pile and a long pile. That's going to be for planks. That's going to be for logs. And a high priority, all of this. And that. And get things going. I'm going to make sure that builders and one of our sets of haulers are slightly higher priority. And let's go. This is going to be a tricky job to get done. But what that's going to do is the bad water is then hopefully going to, we might need to also levee there and there. What that should do is push the bad water coming out of here that way. And then hopefully, because water is flowing this way, it will push it down here past both of those down here, and that should keep this clearer. So we might need to do something with this bit. But I'm hoping that the water flow coming this way will push this away. But we'll see. We'll see how it all works out. Yeah. But I would be liking seeing builders actually working on this job. And not working on some of the lower priority stuff. So come on, you've got 15 days to do this. Pretty important project. So why does it say that is too far from a district? Because I don't have it connected. Okay, that would be why. That would be an issue, wouldn't it? So what we need to do is that path, and we need to make these a priority as well. How did it build those if it can't get down? I don't know. Come on. Dumb me has wasted a bunch of our time. So path. There, right. Now you can start doing this, I think. Yep. I'm going to say this is going to be a long slog for the beavers. We are going to want to prioritize these by haulers, but they only need logs and planks, so it should mean that the builders can just cycle backwards and forwards. And we might end up losing some resources to this, but I really want to try and get this sorted. And it might not be great for the beavers' well-being, but it's what it is. It will hopefully give us a little bit of an opportunity to stockpile explosives. Kind of weird that they just come and mass empty this. I really don't want you working on this job particularly, so let's deprioritize those. I would love all of you builders to be working on this. It's not actually that big a building job once they can get up here. The issue is that everything needs ladders and stairs to get it up there. We are very low on logs. Probably what I should do is we should cut some logs down over here, because there are a few. So let's make use of them. There we go. Let's clear off the cutting zone here, and we will unpause a few more our lumberjacks. And we've not had a bad tide yet to test this area, so you are set to be cut, so that's good. All right. So food and water seem to be taking care of themselves at the moment with the population size that we have. So that's good. And we are almost up, so we just need to put a log in that set of stairs. And then we don't need any more planks, because everything else is logs, so it's now just a case of building a bunch of levees. So, and we don't have that many logs, so that's going to be interesting. It's probably not worth trying to get those. Is there any? There aren't any kind of random piles of oaks to cut down. Actually, there is a pile there. I think we'll just make note of that, because it's we might be okay. We've got 11 days, so I do we want to try and push that? I don't think we do. No. We can now delete that, and we can delete this path because we will be able to place all of those from ground level. Yeah, I think we're probably going to have a path that just comes across like that. Round the water and across, and we'll get rid of some of this. We probably don't need you to be focused on so much. Let's deprioritize you. You can go. Yeah. They're getting there. They're getting there. This is step one. And we could do some of this from, if we don't get it done, we could build this almost naturally because we can go across like that. We'd have to go up and then down like that, like that. So we could do that way, but we don't really need to. So hopefully we don't really need to. Right, they've got those in. So next one is we're going to prioritize that. And we will start to remove the resources so that we can at least recover stuff that we need. And again, we should probably prioritize that because there's logs in there. We need lots of logs. Once we've got this recovered, then maybe we can put the staircase in there. And if we build those two staircases, we've done pretty well actually. So we've got this blocked off at least. So now it's the next stage of the diversion. And that will hopefully allow us to get clean water coming into here. If we need to, we might need to build a divert off of here. And once we've got clean water coming into here, we can pump it out. That's the theory. That's the theory. It feels like we're making progress on getting stuff done. Food and water are still good. And yeah, well, we will be opening up this as farmland very soon. Slowly getting these built. Interesting that they've not come and built this one. It needs logs. Let's give it a bit of priority. Because we've got power in here, but we're not making use of it. So, oh, this first batch of oaks is coming in. That's going to be really useful, actually. That's really going to help out. Yeah. And this is, I was going to say one of our first, but actually we've done some pretty big construction projects, but this one feels like it's the biggest change in how the map is going to behave. And diverting a significant bad water source. It'd be really interesting to see how that changes the shape of the map. It'd be really nice if we could manage the excess of this one as well, and maybe we could. I'm just really hesitant about making changes that affect how the whole map behaves in terms of fresh water flow, because if we push this bad tide across this way, you're blocking a water flow route for fresh water. So, and then when the bad tides come, you're still going to get crushed by it. But at least in the trying to control it during the short kind of nicer seasons is useful. So let's give that some priority, and give that some priority, and that some priority, because there's a few logs here we can pick up. And that will be highest priority, and we will mark those for cutting. There's not many there, but I think it's worth it. We can unset this area. Okay. Why is this full of planks? This should be logs. And probably we could turn off plank production. And with what we've just done, I think I actually need to set that to be planks. Actually, no, let's set that one to be planks. And set that back to being metal beams. Because that was full of planks. Right, he can cut some logs down for us, and we now need to make this one a priority. So 5 days to go, and I really want to have this done before the drought ends, because this is not clean water that we're going to be working in if we're working down here. So yep. I can't detonate that yet because we need to be able to reach into these. So we have got explosives, so let's just let them do that, I think, and get it done. Shouldn't take them too long for the workers to do those. You can probably pause some of the lumberjacks now. Can this one cover? Yeah, so we probably don't need you working. Good. That's working now. So good. The supply is slightly greater than the demand, which means that these will be filling themselves up. So I really need to get smart power installed so I can see better how all of this is behaving. Yeah. Probably, let's just have a squiz at this. What I want to have is power. I want a universal power shaft going in there. To hook up to that. That's gears, planks, and only 2 logs, so let's get them to build that as well. Right, that's done. So that's our pond. Could go deeper. I don't think there's any harm in going deeper. I don't know how deep we can actually go on here. We've got like 3 from that level, so 4 from that level, so we can go down at least 1 more layer. Oh wow, they're really cracking on with that. Let's mark 1 tree left there to cut down. At this point, it doesn't feel like we need that. They're not really filling it, so we might as well get rid of it. That can go. Let's tidy up some of these path scraps that we left. Making sure that we don't delete any of the things that we built. And there we go. So you're done. So you can be paused. In fact, they've taken the logs out of that, so you can go. I'm going to leave that bit. I think that's probably not a dumb idea because it runs above everything. Hopefully they'll come and get those in a moment. So we've got 2 more to build in 2 days. It's really good. We can go back to more useful things then. I will finish this causeway then, just so we can still get through here. I think it will be useful. Yeah, I can't believe we've actually... Oh, that's done actually, because that just needs a builder to come finish it. Awesome. There we go. So hopefully they will now come tidy up all these resources and make that one a high priority. Get rid of that. We'll get them to come tidy those up. There we go. Right, with 1.9 days to go, we have got this bad water divert done. It might be a little bit funny at first because it's going to come out of here. And it might take a little while to get the opposing force of the fresh water to push it this way. But think it'll be okay. So that's all done. So what we'll do now is we will re-allow them to do that. And where are you going? Really curious where you're going, because that's all built. You're going from, no, we're not having that. We're not doing it from that direction. Come on, once you're back, we're going to delete this staircase. That's just dumb. And we can delete all of this path then. We can get that rubble when they can get to it from the other side. What that should do as well is clear out this pond. That should become a freshwater pond. So these have sort of worked, I think. The water's really good. The water level is really good. The water level in this pond is okay. It has let these trees dry out, but not in a way that I'm worried about. Yeah, that is set to cut. They'll get to that. Again, these trees have dried out as well, but not in a way that I'm worried about. So that's good. Hopefully now we're going to crack on with building these, which they are. So again, that's good. Yeah. So hopefully when our drought ends, we will be in a position where we can fill this pond up with fresh water. Landscaping, make it even deeper. It doesn't matter because it's being filled by fresh water. They're getting on with building this now. But yeah, I'm really curious to see how this all works out. Hopefully we haven't screwed everything up. Actually, because this is taking a while to fill up, this is going to be pushing fresh water through first. Cool. Bad water pumping is happening, and yet these aren't affected by being in the bad water, which is what I hoped, which is brilliant. I can't imagine how they'd be flinging bad water everywhere, but let's ignore that. Planks and gears are okay. Metal's a bit low, but that should recover. Yep, this looks like it might have worked. So we'll keep an eye on this. So it's gone up for now, but I'm expecting this to drop. 1, 2, 1. There we go. Yep, 0% contamination. So this has worked. Excellent. I know I shouldn't sound so surprised, but I am. That's brilliant. So what we need to do then is put in another stream gauge. What we need to do is put the rest of the dynamite in. So we put that there. And we high prioritize it. And then we'll put stream gauge in. And that might be as deep as we can make this, but that's okay. We can always use a little water dump to top it up. actually, they can place those from the outside, can't they? So we can detonate that. We can go landscaping, water, stream gauge. I'm so happy that that's worked. And that we didn't really mess things up. What we need to do is also disable during temperate. We probably don't want to do that. Yeah. Disable during temperate and pause. No, stable. My brain can't cope with that today. I'm just going to manually control those. It's fine. So, I think they're working on this now. Metal blocks are going to be the slight issue, but once we've got more power capacity, I think probably what we need to be thinking about doing is running another causeway out along here, along the side of it. Because then we can just keep building. And that would mean having 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And power. We might not need to build all of, and we might not want to put flywheels in for all of this. This might get ridiculous, but power, windmill to, yeah, I think after that point we'll switch to a double platform. We'll delete that one and we'll do power, windmill there. And then power, four-way connector, windmill, and it looks like we need to do that as well. Connector. And I think we should then be able to just gradually replace these with larger ones. And actually, what feels like it would be sensible is if we do that and then, and this is thinking long term and sensible in terms of upgradability. We connect these this way. We can still get into everywhere. I think, oh, we have a bad tide approaching. So I think that we're going to run up to the bad tide and then call it a day. So, pause. Attach to stream gauge. Let's detonate that first. Pause. Attach to stream gauge. And that is 2.29. So, low. I think for this, we want to be about 2. And you'll go to 0. High, we will do 2.24. And you'll go to 1. Right, so if we play now, that's not quite low enough. So if we do 2.2, there we go. So that's going to keep that filled up. And this one should control the contamination. So we'll get to see how this works very soon. We've got our accommodation built over here. So we need some water pumping. And we're going to have to get a bit creative with this because we need to get up over the contamination barriers. So, and actually we could come off of this side, couldn't we? So we don't need to get so creative. We could just do that water. So we're limited to 2 there. But that should be okay. So we've got 2 water pumping things. We're then going to put in storage. Do we go large water storage now? I think we do. We're going to have a large water storage. We're going to have 2 medium warehouses there. You can come through there. And we'll get that built. So we probably want to, yeah, we want to get that built before we separate this off. Okay. We're then going to need to put in a district center and a district crossing. So the district crossing, we use the bigger one because we can build that, and we don't have enough science yet. Problem. But I'm going to assume that we will get enough science. So what we need to do is that. Yep. So if we want that to be any deeper, we need water dumps. So we'll see how everything behaves now when we get bad tide. We haven't had a bad tide since we made a whole bunch of changes. So. And the good thing is it means we're going to keep powering this area. So that's cool. This is all going to get, you know, nicely filled up. In fact, they are all nicely filled up, which is great. And maybe we want to start trying to either join them, or what I might do is once we've got out here with our grid of windmills, delete these and move some of the industrial to that side. We have loads of bad water, so I'm going to pause 2 of you because we are a bit short of beavers still. They're getting all their stuff built, which is good. Yeah, so it feels like next time we'll actually turn this into a colony. And, it looks like we can take advantage of some of this island as well for doing things with the change that we've made, which is very cool. I'm really pleased with that. Just to be safe, because I know beavers are dumb, I'm going to delete some of this path. So they can't go down into the bad water the bad tide comes. We really don't want that happening, so yep. Yeah, that's really cool that it's hydrated that as well. And if in theory, if we flattened this and put some contamination barriers around it, this would be farmable now. The same with over here. This is farmable now, which is great. But this was our priority, so we've got these guys in. We are out of wood, so thinking about how we might adjust the path. I think if we straight line it through there, and it's probably slightly less efficient, but we need to have a path that goes that way because of stuff as well, so... Yeah, right, bad tide is here. So how does this behave and how does this behave? Those are the 2 things I want to quickly check before we call it a day. So there comes the flow of toxic water. So down here, this is, the contamination is rising, but this looks okay. Looks okay. All of that is staying farmable, which is brilliant. Yeah, because that contamination is getting well up there now, so that's good. Down here, this has gone up, and this is all farmable. So yeah. We definitely need a fluid dump in here, I think, and because we are going to need to keep that topped up, which probably means we want a small water tank next to it. And then I think we pretty much want to divide this in half, basically. But we're going to do that next time because I'm still rambling away. So yeah, what we'll do is I think we'll divide this in half. I don't think we need a path going that way. I think that'll be okay because we shouldn't need them to be coming that way normally. No, we don't want to delete you. We should pause you. What I'm thinking is that once we've got these all built and filled up, so this is going to be carrots, this is going to be cooked potatoes, this is going to be water. Once we've got something over here, we can split this district off. We'll put in a forester and get a bunch of oaks planted. We'll put in a couple of farms and we'll get some predominantly wheat, but a little bit of potatoes and carrots to keep these guys fed. And then we'll look at how we power some industry over here. Might make sense to move the metalworking over here, so we smelt the metal over here and just export metal beams rather than exporting the scrap to turn into beams. So we can maybe start doing paper over here so we can get the large windmills going. If we're using these more, we can rely more on water wheels charging them up and then hoping they keep going through bad tides. We've got a 7-day bad tide mode, which isn't too bad actually. But yeah, I think we've made good progress. I'm really pleased with how this worked during the not bad tide, because that's going to allow us to pump fresh water for this colony and keep this filled up as much as we can. Probably what I will do is I will let it dry out to see how far down it goes before it doesn't hydrate all of this, and then we'll fine tune the water dump to that level rather than worrying about the water dump keeping the thing full. Yeah, awesome. Well, I hope you have enjoyed this video. I've definitely enjoyed playing this one. Any comments, questions, or suggestions, stick them below. If you did enjoy it, click the like button. If you're not already and you're watching these videos this far through, think about subscribing. Thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. Those are predominantly Farm Sim supporters because that's where my channel started from. But hey, if you want to help out, then don't feel obliged. But if you want to, it's all appreciated. And yeah. This is still so hard. I mean, how do we stop this? How do we stop this? You know, we have so much of the map to explore still. I've got some ideas for this, but I'm going to keep my powder dry for now, for how we can manage this. Think Skystorm, if you watched any of his videos, but yeah, keeping things quiet. I think we probably... I've never used the Choo-Choo mod, which, if you're not aware, if you're not a TimberBorn fan, is trains. I think on this map we probably will need to, because, you know, already we're going to have 2 districts. If we want to be working over here, this is going to be a completely separate district. There is actually land we could make use of for doing work over here, but yeah, and I think it's just going to be, you know, quite a hard thing to progress on. But we'll get there. We will get there. And I'm really looking forward to the challenge. This is going to be a big old long series, I think, with lots to tackle. I'd say I was going to stop, but I'm just kind of curious. So we've got bad water here. Got bad water here. This one I feel like we've dealt with mostly, in that it goes off the map. When we get a bit more advanced, we can actually direct it off the map from here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Sure, there's one over here. So on this side of the map, if we were to block ourselves off, we've got 4 places where bad water is coming in that we need to address. I mean, this one, you know, it means we're going to have to get into either the domes or the rigs. I'm kind of thinking the domes because we can control whether they're open or not. So we can use them for power still as well, because if you put the rig on, you can't use it for power. Whereas if we've got the dome, we can, and we can force it to stay open. So that means we can keep power coming out of here, for example, in a drought, which will be useful. But I think, yeah, strategy number 1 is probably to try and separate ourselves and do something up here to push the bad water to that side of the map. But that's such a long way off. But that's how my brain works. You guys probably know if you've been watching. But yeah, I'm really happy that we've got our next oasis sorted. And next time we will turn this into farmland forestry. It's not quite as big an area as this, but if we can make this area self-sufficient with a population of beavers that can produce stuff, and I think probably then what I want to do is try and get this island up and running, and maybe we look at pushing this bad water off the map up here. That's not beyond our capabilities. We could levy across here and we could blast this channel out. Probably we would want to be looking at blocking off across here as well to save losing water, or maybe up here to focus where the water goes. But yeah, I think that is not an unrealistic goal, to turn this cluster of 3 islands into a district. This is preset to be filled with water, really, isn't it? We probably want to make it a little bit smaller if we could get dirt going, but for now we could just fill it. We could take these down, and yeah, we could do some stuff in there. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I think I've done all of those things and then rambled on some more, so I will see you next time.